Welcome to my podcast, Live from the Heart. I am Anne-Claire Meret. I'm excited to welcome you to this very special episode. I'm your host, I'm a writer, I'm a coach, I teach coaching, and I do so many other things. I have a lot of online programs and different offers that you can find. I'm excited today to share my experience of conducting my first writer's retreat in Bali, in Ubud. This is where I reside. I reside in Bali, sometimes in Ubud, sometimes in Cemagi, close to Canggu. And I've been dying to do a retreat for writers for a few years now. I was already thinking about it before COVID when I started to do retreats. And then COVID happened and then I couldn't do more retreats. So I had to wait. And last year when I settled back to Bali, because I used to come here a lot, I realized, okay, this is where it's going to happen. I'm going to make it work here. And I did one other retreat this year. It was a retreat about abundance, and the writing retreat was next. So I just finished it 2 days ago, and I would like to share with you how it happened and what we did, some of the insights that we got, and some anecdotes and all those things. First, I have so much gratitude for the people who came, but also the people who helped me build the retreat and the people from the resort. I would say that this is what's the most present for me right now. It's just overwhelmed with gratitude and love. And yeah, I would say it's a win. I feel very accomplished. I feel grateful and happy, which is so different from my mood that I had about 3 weeks ago. I recorded another podcast episode, maybe even 2 weeks ago, where I was sharing that July was very challenging for me. Yeah, now the energy has shifted. It's interesting because this retreat I decided to start on the date of start of the Leo season, and I'm not so much into astrology, but I remember telling myself, "Oh, I want to start the retreat on July 23rd," and this is exactly what I wanted to do. It was July 23rd. It was very precise. So I did it, and it was a shift just maybe 2 days before I started to feel really much better. And then when the retreat started, I was more fiery than watery. So it was exactly perfect. I'm qualified to do this retreat because, well, I've written 12 books, which is quite an accomplishment already. I've written about 10 books published in traditional publishing in France. One of them has been adapted into German. And then I self-published my two latest books, How to Succeed as a Wellness Entrepreneur, sharing my journey as an entrepreneur in the wellness industry as a naturopath. And then I published Millionaire from the Heart, which is a book about prosperity that you can find in French as well as in English. And it is self-published. It's available worldwide, everywhere on Amazon. And with my team, we're working to spread it also into libraries. So it's currently available in different places in Bali. And we also signed with a company in Europe which will help us be distributed in libraries. So anything is possible. It's not either or. You can be online and in libraries if you choose to self-publish. It's just different questions that you need to ask yourself, and it's extra work because it's everything on your shoulders, but it's also very rewarding. And yeah, I just love the process. Actually, I created a program called Writing from the Heart, which is available since it was released in June. It's an amazing program. There are beautiful modules in there where I share exercises and knowledge and so many things about publishing and self-publishing. This is just all of my experience is just poured in there with so much love. So don't hesitate to join this program. It's a self-paced program. You can buy it anytime. It's available, and there's a support group where you can ask me your questions and share your journey with other writers. It's so amazing. And actually, the people who came to the retreat, they had to do the program before my program, Writing from the Heart, because they had to come with this knowledge, this level of awareness of what it requires to write a book, so that I could have them dive deeper into the experience of the creative process and really be immersed in it without distraction. So that was the goal of the retreat. I was always a big reader, and when I did my baccalaureate, I don't know how you can translate it into English. I guess it depends on the countries. I choose literature. So I was always very passionate about reading. When I was a little girl, I was also wanting to write, but I didn't know if it would be accessible for me. And even growing up, I wasn't sure that being a writer was even a thing that was possible for my life. And then it happened. Like I made it happen. And life is amazing because I wrote a first book, Naturopathy for Dummies, the black and yellow books. And then they gave me so many more books to write. I was suggested to write books, and then I also suggested books, and then I did many. It's amazing, and it's only the beginning for me. I'm only 41 years old. I have so many books in there that I want to birth, and in there, in my heart, and I'm going to do it whenever I'm ready. When there is a divine timing, and then there is also inner authority that decides, okay, we're going for it. Let's do it now. So we did it in Ubud, in a beautiful location. I've decided to do this location because there were different synchronicities about it. I actually visited this resort because of the spa. I wanted to go to a high-end spa. It was just when I landed in Bali in April or May 2023. And when I saw the spa and I saw the facilities, and part of it was under construction, I told myself, I'm going to do it there. Like, I'm going to do my retreat there one day. And then I forgot about it. And then I moved on with my life, and I found another place thanks to a friend to do this retreat. And I was almost like, I was very close to signing the contract with the other resort. And then I had a reading session with a medium called Jordan Fletcher. It's based in Canada. And I really love how he talks about abundance and the ability that we have to create anything. So I really resonate with his work. And I had a session with him, and he said, you should consider doing your retreat at Jedas in Ubud. I was like, okay, I don't know this place, but because I go to Ubud almost every week, I'm going to visit it next week. So I went there. And it turned out that it was the exact same place where I went a year ago. It's just that the spa had a different name than the resort. So I didn't connect the two places in my head. But when I saw it, it was obvious to me that this was the place. I already knew it a year before. So I had a moment of stress because this place is very luxurious. So it meant that I had to just change the experience that I had planned for the writers originally in the other resort, because it meant choosing a different price point and also just aligning to a different experience. But that fits very much to me, millionaire from the heart. And actually, all the participants, what they told me at the end is that it was not only a writing retreat, it was also an abundance retreat for them. The experience of bathing in this level of luxury was amazing for them because they could really focus on creating what they came to here to create. So it was beautiful. And as I shared with them, for me, although there is a lot of images around writers, which is actually very romantic images of writers not making any money, that is not my story. When I started writing, first I was paid to write my books. Not a lot of money, so I had to be smart, and I created opportunities for my life so that I could actually sustain my life and travel. So this is when I started to go to Morocco, to Asian countries, and I was subletting my place in Paris, my little tiny apartment, so that I could go live in places which were more spacious, more inspiring. So I don't associate writing with being broke. So this is actually two things that I don't oppose. For me, it's not either or, it's and. I can write and be bathing in luxury. And actually, I mean, I'm the living proof that it's possible, because not only I started to write and make a living with my writing, but also I created businesses around that. And then I became widely abundant. And that was not originally the plan. But because of my mindset, I made it happen. So I would like to put it out there that it's also possible for you. Cheers to that. So, this place is beautiful. It's just gorgeous. It's surrounded by rice fields. It has an amazing spa. There will be an amazing, how do you say, biohacking facility. It's currently under construction, so it's not ready. I wish it was ready already, but it's going to be ready in the next few months. So if when I do another retreat, I want to do it there too. It lasted for a whole week. So it was from Tuesday to Tuesday. We started right away when people checked in. And then we got together right away an hour after the check in. So we had the welcome circle on the Tuesday, and we had the finish circle, integration circle on the Tuesday morning, the last morning. And then we had breakfast all together. So the main theme was how to unlock your creativity, how to write every day a lot, and also gaining clarity about their writing projects, because a lot of them came with the desire to find a publisher and write the synopsis and write their index and write some pages so that they had something to share and to show to publishers. So they all did it, plus they wrote a lot, and they deeply fell in love with the writing process and with their books. So I would say this is mission accomplished and more. It's like I feel that I over delivered and that they were so stoked and so happy about it. And actually, I have testimonials to share. So my team should be taking care of that within the next few days. At the end, they gave me this huge bouquet. I could barely hold it, like 150 roses. They're really, what they shared is that they really understood that they are writers, and now it's like codes that they have, uh, that it's like in their whole system now. They're not doubting it anymore. They're 100% sure it is happening, this book and more books in their lives. So this is awesome. My personal goal doing this retreat was to share what I've experienced, especially share about resistance, because I believe everyone can write a book, and actually a lot of people want to write a book. Most of the population want to write a book, but only 1% will do it and will go all the way to make it happen. And I know why. It's because there are so much resistance. And my goal with this retreat was to help the participant witness what's happening when resistance show up, and find ways to befriend their resistance and to overcome the challenges, and to keep writing and writing and writing. And the more you write, the more you write. And it's true for the opposite. The less you write, the less you write. I haven't written in a few months since I've published my last book. And I know I'm like, the less I do it, the less I do it, you know? And I want to go back at it, especially with the retreat. I didn't have much space for myself to do it, but now I'm getting ready more and more to go back to it. I have at least 2 books that I want to release in the next year. One easy one, and then one more in depth. So yeah, stay tuned. So how did I get ready for this retreat? I prepared. Well, I've been doing what I do for a long time. Plus, I'm a coach, so I think I've been preparing for a long time already. And I already created online programs. So I had a workshop in Paris years ago that I've conducted many times. And then I recorded videos. It was 2018, and I sold a lot of this program, like maybe 300 people did it. That was pretty big. And then I removed it from my website at the end of last year, with the knowing that I would publish a new program, which I did, Writing from the Heart, which is available both in English and in French. It's just a lot of videos for you to understand how to write from the heart and how to be published, self-publish, and promote your book. So I already worked a lot on helping writers put their work out there. I was also, how do you say in English? Like a middleman to help publishers find new writers and for writers to find publishers. So I've done that for 2-3 years. This is something I'm no longer doing because it's very much time consuming. You're like in the middle and people are always asking questions. And my company had so much success, I didn't have so much space to do that anymore. But thanks to me, about 15 books were published. So that's pretty cool because I put people into a relation and it just connection and then it worked. So I have a lot of experience with that. Plus, I love creativity. I love creating. I'm a great creator and I know how to unlock people's creativity thanks to coaching. So I did so many exercises around writing that I knew what I wanted to do. So basically, I mapped out every day of the retreat and I had a certain amount of exercises. So every morning we would gather together. So let me take you through a day in the retreat. So we would meet at 10:30 until 12, so 1 hour and a half to work together. During this morning, there was first a time for sharing what's happening for each of them. And then we would dive right away into writing exercises. And I would be able to share 4 or 5 writing exercises within an hour and a half, giving them about 10 minutes to write each time. And then sometimes we would share, sometimes not, because there was like a process with different exercises to help them dive deeper. And the idea was really to unlock creativity. So I would give journal prompts, I would give exercises, I would give, so many things to just put the pen on the paper and just not lift it, write so much, as well as what else did we do? We shared a lot also about the writing process and what was living inside of us, so that we could acknowledge that everything we're going through is normal, and that we could feel the connection with other writers, and just get over it, I want to say that, just get over it and keep writing. And everybody wrote more than 1,500 words every day, and like sometimes double or triple that amount. And everybody reached out to publishers and moved forward towards their goals. So it was amazing. Not everything I prepared happened the way I prepared it, because I wanted it to be tailor-made for the group. So I had planned what I wanted to do every morning. But for example, there was one morning where one of the participants expressed something in the group, and then I thought, oh, okay, if she's in that mood, I can feel the energy within the group. That's not exactly what I should be doing today. So I'm going to take the exercises from another day and I'm going to do them today. And I would always adapt and adjust. And also, as the participants were writing, doing the exercises, I would also check out with myself, okay, is what I plan next accurate for, is it working with where I want to take them next? So that was just super nice for me to fine tune everything every day. And the participants were telling me that it was like amazing how I took them to like a doula, birthing in a very creative way, but also kind of smooth but assertive way, so that they could do the work. So that was really cool. And then after those group exercises in the morning, we had 1 hour break. And then I would do private coaching with everyone, half an hour per people every afternoon. It is not a place that I wanted it to be mandatory. And there was also not really a schedule, like fixed schedule for the order. So they would just come whenever they wanted, and they could either see me, and well, mostly they came to see me every day, and they could also see someone from my team, which was there, and she's an expert in self-publishing because she's helped me self-publish. So they could also ask questions, more practical questions, if they choose to self-publish. So it was really cool. And I really enjoy those moments one-on-one, where I could actually challenge them to go deeper, and really help them understand that they have the inner authority and the inner drive to keep going and to write some more. Like push the extra mile, push the extra mile. You can do it. But when you're really connected to the energy of your book, when your book is just being channeled through you, it's easy. That's why it's so important to immerse yourself without distraction. You don't need to ask yourself the question, what am I eating? What am I cooking? I need to go do the grocery shopping. I need to work, etc. Nobody was working. They were not working during that week. They were not entertaining conversations with people from the outside. They didn't have to cook. They only had to ask themselves, when am I going to do the massages, which are included into this retreat? That's it. That's basically it. And how am I going to birth my words for tomorrow? So that was just amazing. Everyone went through some phases of resistance, and that's exactly what I wanted them to experience during this week, because being there to hold space for them and help them go through the resistance and understand that they could totally go on the other side without making it dramatic, but but going through it, really feeling everything that they had to feel. And I would say much quicker than if they would have been at home, because nothing was like stretched in time. Because when you're trying to write at home, there are always distractions. There's life happening, there are relationships, there's work challenges, and so many other things that things get stretched. But if you're there for a week, this is the only thing you're doing. So you're facing your shit and then you're going back at it. And yeah, that's what happened. Every process that they've been through only lasted for about a half day. And then the day after, they could write again. So that's just amazing to experience that, because they know they're able to do it again, and they're going to face new challenges. They're going to be able to just overcome them again. Um, yeah, that's about it. And after the one-on-one coachings, we were done. And then they had to be writing. And all of them, they said, this is great, because they had so much space to write. And two of them, they're actually conducting retreats themselves, and they felt inspired by all the space that I left them, that I didn't have to fill in the days to make them busy to experience something. And actually they appreciated it so much that they're going to bring that too into their own retreats, which I'm really happy about too. What else? For me, it was more of a personal retreat, like more of doing the inner work and writing your own book, but having other writers around you while you're writing, it was very beneficial. Sometimes when they didn't want to write in their room or isolated in an area of the resort, actually there were so many places where they could write, like beautiful places, super quiet, it was perfect. But sometimes they were actually seeking each other's presence so that they could be side by side, different tables, but checking on each other. Okay, you're writing, I'm writing, she's writing, so I'm going to keep writing. So that was really beneficial in that sense. And also just acknowledging that we're all mirrors of each other. So when one of them was going through a process, it was also helping others realizing what was happening within them, and just overcoming the challenges together created a bond between them. Like, okay, we're all writers now, we're going through the same stuff, and we're going to go on the other side together. And that was really beautiful. I love it. They're still connected. They created a WhatsApp group, accountability group, and then they're going to keep doing it. So I'm really proud of them and happy for them. Let me check. Well, the resort was also offering different things like yoga in the morning, activities in the afternoon, and sometimes they enjoyed it. Also private trainers with a beautiful gym, so things like that, everything included. But sometimes they participated in them and not so much. So it was really focused on writing and living their processes. So that was pretty cool. They wrote a lot in the hot tub, bathing on the long chairs by the pool. So it was really the perfect setting to create. They also created content, like a lot of content for they're all entrepreneurs, so they also created content. So this is an interesting process, because when you create for one thing, like let's say a book, you also have ideas, like, connecting. It's not linear. You're going to have a lot of other ideas. So they were also creative for their businesses. They were also creative for their communication. So many things. And I prepared a gift bag with so many things. And some of the things were 3 notebooks. And when they came, they said, "Oh my God, you gave us so many gifts. And why do we have 3 notebooks?" And I said, "Because you're going to have ideas for your book. You're going to have the need to journal about what you're going through, your processes as a writer. You're going to have ideas for your business, for your communication, so many things, and you can put them separately, so that then later on it's easier to find your way back to, okay, where did I write that? Because it's categorized." And they really loved it. And I gave them like a shiny pen and so many things. It was so cool in the bag. And I kept going. Like, there were so many gifts. That was so cool. Um, yeah, what else do I want to share? Let me check. I think I had some notes. Um, well, yeah, some interesting stories. I think a lot of them discovered stuff about themselves, and they also understood that the book was showing them different facets of them that they had not seen before, and that they were willing to see now, and also discovering how creative they are. It's really, for me, it's a process of love, and and just allowing life to flow through you because you make yourself available and you say a full yes to what wants to be birthed through you. And it takes a lot of courage. And I think to sign up for such a retreat, you need to be really brave. So, yeah, I'm really proud of them. What I learned as a host is that I shouldn't be afraid of retreats because I'm a bit of an introvert person and I'm not really comfortable being surrounded by people every day, morning to evening. And actually, I created the retreat so that I wouldn't spend the night there and I would just be holding space during the day. So it worked really well for me. And actually, it was perfect. It was the right amount of presence, of availability, but also some time for myself so that I could come back the day after being refreshed and fully available. So I loved that about it. There was an acknowledgement that what I thought might be possible was actually really possible, and not only possible, but very comfortable for all of us. And then I I love that I understood that I'm not delusional because sometimes you have an idea and as long as you haven't done it, you're not 100% sure it's going to work. So my exercises and all the stuff that I wanted to offer them, I couldn't know if it was going to work unless I would do it, put it out there, which I did. And now I understand that everything came together really beautifully, even better than I thought. So it's just a beautiful acknowledgement that I was right. I was not delusional. I was right. And not only I was right, but it was truly magical. So that was really cool. Um, yeah, well, I think it also had an impact on my own writing process because really now I feel very much connected to my next book. Also, among the sharing that we had, like more on a personal time and having meals together and things like that, we talked a lot about love. Love in the sense of, just in general, but also relationships. And my next book will be about love. So it connected with the essence of the next book also. I already wrote one in 2019 and I want to go back at it and publish it again. I actually self-published it for real because it was a PDF and also audio version that I sold on my website, more like handmade. But now I'm ready to put it out there into the world in a more professional way. I'm thinking about doing another writing retreat next year, 2025, and my team already created a waiting list on my website. So if you want to visit the page of the retreats, you can find the waiting list if you want to put your email in there. And I would probably do it in the same place because I really love the place. And I got to spend a little bit of time yesterday with the owner. We went for a walk together, and he's also a writer. And I feel that there are some good connections there that I would like to nourish. And the fact that they have a biohacking place and it's very healthy, it's a very healthy place. It's also very beautiful and quiet, and I feel it's the right place to do it again if I do it again next year. I'm going to take some time to get the feedbacks from the participants and to understand how and when I want to do it, and then I'm going to launch it maybe springtime or early summer 2025. So I'll keep you updated. Meanwhile, if you want to work with me, I invite you to check out my program, Writing from the Heart, which is available online with a beautiful support group and where you can ask me a lot of questions. And also, it's a prerequisite for the retreat. So if you want to do it already, that would be pretty cool. You'll be ready for next year. I wish you a beautiful day and I will see you next week in another episode. If you've enjoyed this one, please share it around you to your community and friends and aspiring writers. And I wish you the best if you have writing projects and put yourself out there, just pour on the paper the words that you have in your heart, because if you have them there, it means someone has the desire to listen to them and read them. Okay, talk to you later.